Namaste. I'm Jill Loftus of New at Astrology, and I'd like to offer you 5 ways to start working with astrology. Now, we don't have to all become astrologers in order to use astrology to our benefit and to understand ourselves and how our souls assembled our curriculum for this lifetime. So the first thing to find out is an accurate birth time, all right? Figure out the exact time of your birth. This is much easier if you're a younger person, but definitely check on your birth time and make sure you have the right birth time. This makes a big difference in the rising sign in particular, and it also makes a difference with the moon sign. Number 2, know your sun, your moon, and your rising. Those are the 3 most important factors for you to understand. Most of you know your sun sign, right? You've been told what sign you are since the time you were small. But how is your emotional body created? How do your feelings work? Know the moon sign to understand this. It also helps you understand how you interacted with your mother or whatever your interlinked parent is, and that has a huge impact on a soul. And then finally, your rising sign, your ascendant, it's also called. This is the sign that's on the first house cusp and has everything to do with your outlook on life, how people perceive you, particularly as you get older, and then it impacts how you look physically. Very, very important sign. All right, number 3, know what planet rules your sun sign and your rising sign, okay? So each of the signs in the zodiac has a star that is their star, right? Aries, Mars, Taurus, Venus, Cancer, Mercury, I missed Gemini. Gemini, Mercury, Cancer, Moon, Leo, Sun, Virgo, Mercury, Libra, Venus, Scorpio, Mars, modern ruler Pluto, Sagittarius, Jupiter, Capricorn, Saturn, Aquarius, ancient ruler Saturn, modern ruler Uranus, and Pisces, ancient ruler Jupiter, modern ruler Neptune. So look at that sun and look at that rising sign. See which those 2 planets are, because you need to pay more attention to those planets knowing what sign they are transiting in right now, and also paying attention to whether they are retrograde or not. Those planets have more of an influence upon you. And so really understanding that will help you to understand how they trigger you in each of the different signs. Number 4, know the elements that are dominant in your chart. This is a pretty simple thing to find out from astro.com, or if I run a chart for you, you'll just see the elements. How many planets are in earth? How many planets are in air? How many in water? How many in fire? For some souls, it's very balanced, a little smattering of all. For some people, it's all fire or no earth or everything but air. And so any element that is missing, you need to add. If you don't have air, then you need to think things through more. You need more fresh air. You need to do your breath work. You need to have a little bit more of like a mentality where you make lists and weigh out your options, right? If you don't have any fire, you need to add it. You need to add heat. You need to add exercise. You need to get, even candles and things like that. Have a little bit more magic for you because you don't have that fire naturally in your chart. If you don't have enough earth, then grounding is important to you. Eating foods that are grown beneath the ground, like potatoes and carrots, being outside, hugging a tree, planting a garden, things that help to keep you stable. No water in your chart? Well, then sometimes emotions are something that you don't really navigate well and you don't really understand. So it can sometimes make it so that you're very uncomfortable with them. Add water by soaking, by going for a float, by drinking plenty of water, vacationing next to a river, a stream, or the ocean. And the same goes if you have a lot of any of those elements in your chart, then those things tend to make you feel more comfortable, more at home. And so when you're looking for soothing, you can look to the element that is dominant in your chart. That is going to be what you want to do. Now, you can't overdo it, right? Too much air, you think about things, you don't get things done. Too much earth, again, stagnation. You just want to sit, have some potato chips on the couch. It's grown under the ground, right? Too much fire. You are always taking off and not thinking things through, not making a plan. Too much water. Emotionality overfloweth. You can just really get lost in that space and be unable to tread forward. All right. And then number 5, know the modes. So the modes are either cardinal, which is like, let's start something. Fixed, which is, let's keep it going. Or mutable, which gives you the ability to kind of adapt and give you fluidity. Again, any standard chart will just give you a list of just how many cardinal, how many fixed, and how many mutable planets you have. If you have a lot of cardinal, like me, you're great at starting things, but you are not excited about finishing them. So you need to know that about yourself, right? You have all this creative fire. You need to surround yourself with people who can, carry that ball all the way across to the touchdown instead of making it just down to the 10-yard line, right? If you've got a lot of fixity, a lot of fixed elements in your chart, then you get stuck. Okay, it's hard to change. Sometimes you're not very adaptive. You don't really want to start things and you don't really want to stop things, okay? So you can just get really stuck. And so if you have too much fixity, you need things that can help you become more adaptable and more change adept. Too much mutability, you don't really stick with things long enough to master them, right? You don't follow through always because, you're, shiny thing, off to the next thing. This makes you beautifully adaptive, but it can be a problem if you're trying to actually anchor down and create something, right? So knowing the dominance, just knowing the dominance, you can kind of look at it and be like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. And then understanding how you are made, what the natural predilections and tendencies are, then you can use that knowledge to change, to adapt, and push yourself forward in those areas where you feel some resistance. All right, well, I hope these were useful and helpful. Please like it if you enjoyed it. Please share it with a friend if you think it would be helpful. If you've subscribed already, I thank you so much for your support. Drop a comment below. Let me know if when you figure out your balance and all the just these few little things to get started with understanding yourself and understanding astrology. All right. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. Namaste. Bye.